We're live now to our Dubai desk. The Expo 2020 Dubai entering its second week, where Team South Africa is participating as part of the country's recovery plan post-COVID-19. South Africa intends to position itself as one of the big players in the global economy, with many businesses from the country given the opportunity to showcase their offerings. My co-anchor, Ayanda Nyathi, is live to us from our Dubai desk to talk to us about a whole range of things. Ayanda, it's been a lonely time for me here in South Africa. It's been a busy time for you in Dubai. What's the last week been like at the Expo?
I actually, quite frankly, don't know where to start, Michelle. We're spoiled for choice whilst we're here at the Expo 2020 Dubai. Let me perhaps begin by where the objective is largely for Team South Africa. The slogan that we're going with is Think South Africa, Think Opportunity. It should come then as no surprise that we're also located at what is known as the Opportunity District here at this Expo. There are three main districts, and essentially this is like hubs of community that house the different countries. South Africa is located at the Opportunity District because of the objective, at least for the country, insofar as their involvement at this Expo is concerned. The idea is that our presence here will hopefully result in opportunities not only for those in the arts and culture, but certainly also for those who are part of the SMME sector, as well as local government and many other aspects of our lives or our community there, here in. Interestingly, though, it is amazing to also see how the country is being received. There is so much interest in trying to find out what exactly South Africa has to offer to the rest of the world. Our own pavilion has certainly been a hive of activity since we opened on the 1st of October, with people coming through even here on the Dubai desk to get a sense of what we do and how we do it. As you can imagine, there's also been a great interest in the type of food that we have to offer. Interestingly, we understand that at the opening ceremony of South Africa's participation, a South African-based chef was able to collaborate with chefs in Dubai and sort of guide some kind of amalgamated meal that involves both food in South Africa and food in Dubai. And let me be the first to say that it was an absolute feast. You know very well that I'm not the type of person to turn down a good meal, so I was definitely involved in all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds exciting, and you talk about businesses also given the opportunity to showcase their offering at Expo 2020 Dubai. What are some of the businesses that perhaps our viewers will be familiar with that are at the Expo?
Sure. So what is interesting about this Expo, in fact, Michelle, is that it's about shining a spotlight on businesses perhaps that aren't as well known. What I found particularly interesting is getting into the mind of the people who are behind some of the architecture we've seen here. Yesterday, we got an opportunity to go to the Switzerland Pavilion, and in fact, the guy who designed that iconic Cuban structure there was kind enough to indulge us for a couple of hours as we shot through that pavilion and got a sense of the meaning behind some of the structures. So SMMEs, at least those from South Africa, are going to be in the spotlight within the coming weeks. A big focus, at least for this month, is around the arts and the culture. And insofar as that is concerned, my goodness, there are many artists that South Africans know who have dazzled audiences here. I'm talking about Mafikizolo, Thandiso Mazai took to the stage, Master KG, but everyone dancing here at our pavilion when he opened the performance stage in some respects. So there are certainly big names in arts and culture that you will recognize, but in the SMME sector, I beg your pardon, the objective is to try and bring in individuals who are yet to get their time to shine, give them opportunity to engage big business whilst they're here, and hopefully that will result in some kind of, call it capital fortunes in the coming years, perhaps even decades to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Ayanda, entering day 5, the Expo today, it's still a long way to go. This is a marathon Expo, isn't it? 6 months in all. One just wonders what the long-term plan for Team South Africa is in terms of, you know, who will be deployed to the Expo week by week over that 6-month period.
Yeah, you know very well that at some stage you and I will have swapped roles in some instances. I'll be in our headquarters there in Randburg, and you'll be here in the next couple of weeks ahead. But we'll, I guess, leave those details to ventilate themselves as time progresses. But you're absolutely right. I mean, even for us here, we kind of need to pace ourselves insofar as what we're engaged in and what we decide to bring to our audience there, not only in South Africa, but certainly in the whole of Africa, people watching our platform. The idea, at least for people here at this Expo, is for the infrastructure at the very least to even outlive the Expo. We've heard in some instances that the buildings here could be used, for instance, as some kind of university institution in the years to come. But for those who are present, the objective is about laying out what they have to offer as a country bit by bit. For Team South Africa, we start off by just showcasing some of the arts and culture. That means in some instances we're fused with some of the parades that take place, some of those visuals you might have seen just about yesterday or so. And then later on is to get to the SMMEs aspect of our displays, and that's to bring in government-chosen SMMEs who are going to be here, getting them an opportunity to engage with business by and large. And there's also a big interest in trying to showcase some of our cultural offerings whilst we're here, because a big part, at least insofar as MultiChoice has said, is to also try and ensure that we are aiding the South African economy to get back on its feet after suffering that devastating blow because of things like COVID-19. And that, by and large, is also the objective for many other countries that are here. You remember, Michelle, a global event like this hasn't really taken place before since COVID-19 hit. And that's why it comes as no surprise that organizers are hoping that by the time we get to March next year, I beg your pardon, we'll be able to look back at this as one of the biggest global events to be held since COVID-19 actually started affecting economies across the world. They are hoping for about 23 million people eventually to come through. It's been a great start so far. I get a sense that they're hoping that this kind of traction, attraction, traffic will be sustained all the way till March.
Yeah, absolutely. Ayanda Nyathi, thanks very much indeed for that update, giving us a sense of some of the color taking place at Expo 2020 Dubai. Hopefully we can speak to you before we log off from the AM report on this Tuesday morning. Live to us there from the Dubai desk.